Music is the answer. Sweet music is the way. Gospel, jazz, R&B touches you every day. Talk about how it moves you differently day to day. It's the R&B Bistro. Let music have its way.
Hello and welcome to the R&B Bistro Up Close and Personal. I'm your host, Venus, here to take you through this musical dance we call life. And to do that, you know I bring on prominent people in the community and beyond to help us make it through. They give us tips to help us do what we do. Today I'm so excited. I have radio royalty in the house. Someone that I have admired for a long time. I'm going to read my card because I don't want to mess up anything I want to tell you. So she is Radio Family, currently on air at Philly's Flavor 100.7 FM. Many years of radio behind her. She is a lot of stations behind her as well. She's a motivational speaker. She's an entrepreneur. She's a CEO of 2 companies, talent manager, mother of 4 children, one of which we know, we may not know the other ones, but Tye Tribbett, Multi Grammy Award winner, Tye Tribbett, 7 grands and 1 great grand. You're not going to believe that when you see her, but I'm so excited. She's an awesome woman of God who says, I am because God is. That's really enough. I got to stop talking because I want to get into this conversation with Miss Neicy Tribbett.
Woo!
Hello.
I had to look around and see who you were talking
Who was I
about.
talking about? You! I'm talking about you.
Wow.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
And just like you did the last time I saw you, which was I don't know how many years ago.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Well, first of all, Venus, thank you for inviting me to the show and happy anniversary.
Yes,
5. 5. That is magnificent. Do you hear me?
Thank you.
Kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Now, can we get up close and personal?
Let's do it.
All right, now I got a couple questions for you.
All right.
So listen, first of all, it's COVID-19. We're still in the midst of that. People need to know that. We're still in the midst of that. Do what you need to do. Okay, I digress.
We got our masks.
Yes, we took them off because we're in here.
Because we got a shot.
Right. How has your life changed in any way since COVID, if it has?
It has changed tremendously to the point where isolation, that's what got me the most. Isolation from my family and not being able to interact physically. The holidays, you know, the birthdays and all of that. That's what I miss the most. Other than that, thank God I was still able to work. As a matter of fact, that grew. You know what I mean? Because of the pandemic, because I was able to reach out through streaming.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you know, I think it affected some people in a good way and some people in a bad way. I mean, God had his hand on me and I was blessed through it too, so I'm so thankful for that.
Yes.
But I think that it's going to get better.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
as long as we do what we do, because God is still in control.
Absolutely.
So it's going to get better.
Absolutely.
All right, now this talent manager thing, tell me about that. So you managed Tye for a while, right?
Yes, I did. I managed him for about 7 years during the inception of his career. And after that, I went back into radio. And I just have a passion for kids. And so I started that company.
Well, hold on. Don't go
Okay.
yet. Don't
but the
do that.
managing part
Yes, let's stay there.
is that I have the NT management services and I challenge the young people, or I challenge those up and coming artists to do what they do with passion and with grace. I have
How was it managing him though?
with
That's
him,
family. You know, when you're doing stuff with family, you're the mom, but you're the momager, manager, you know.
Right.
How was that?
It was great. It was great because I pretty much took my cues from him. Tye is a great visionary. I mean, anything that you have seen with his themes for his albums and all of that came from him. He just shared his vision with us, me and the
made it
team.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we just executed.
Yeah.
He just knew what he wanted, and we had the know-how. And so we were the legs and the arms of his vision. So it was pretty easy, really.
So
He was in demand, so there were a lot of things coming in, requesting him. So you know, it was an easy thing.
So have you ever managed anyone that wasn't as easy to manage as he?
Yes. My problem after managing him was to get clients who really wanted to be themselves. There were a lot of clients who wanted to be what he was or to do as he has done.
Right, right.
His lane was his lane.
That's right.
You have to establish your own. And for those who would come to me requesting my services, I needed to know their motive.
Yeah.
You know, I needed
like
to know, whether or not it's because you really wanted to go somewhere or you really want to be another Tye.
Yeah. And it's like, how can you be my agent or how can you manage me if you don't know me?
Right.
You know something about me.
Exactly. So that was key for me.
All right. So now that led you to the management teams? Rather the businesses that you
Yes, it led me to the businesses, the Neicy T Kids biz.
Yeah. So what's the difference between the Neicy T and the other management company?
All right, so the Neicy T Kids biz is where we recruit and we take young artists, up and coming kids that wanted a platform. Because to find platform for kids is very difficult. In church, maybe on the fifth Sunday, youth Sunday, they get an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? That's
or if the church has plays.
Right, Easter time. So I wanted to provide a platform for kids. And so there's so many, especially during the pandemic, they're going around the house, singing in the kitchen, doing different things, dancing and all of that. So I was able to provide that, and we teach them how to go from preparation to performance.
Stop right there.
Yes.
Like Motown.
Yeah.
So they know what to do when they get in front of an audience,
Right.
when they're on an audition, when they're everything, right?
Everything.
Such a wonderful
So I had a
opportunity.
strong team, you know. Everything I did, I created a team. And with that, everybody knew what to do and everybody stepped in. And we were able to do it, and we were able to connect with some kids that were like phenomenal. There are some kids that we connected with that was on America's Got Talent.
Nice.
The young man we connected with who was on BET, you know, so it was just a great experience, and it's still ongoing. You know,
that's good.
Yeah, still ongoing. But
Both of them?
Yeah, they're still ongoing. So, you know, we're just doing things, kind of recreate and restructure because of the pandemic.
Now I know broadcasting is your passion. We're going to get back to that.
Yes.
So just tell me more about managing talent. How do you handle people when they're difficult? And what about the moms, the stage moms? And she gives me this look. Did y'all see this look? Okay.
Can I tell you?
Okay.
It was quite an experience.
Okay.
Quite an experience because not only, well, sometimes the parents had a higher expectation than what the child is ready to project.
Really?
You know, they know their child can do it, whatever.
Yes.
But when you meet the child, it's like, okay, where's all this that you're talking about? You know, they did submit, you know, their audition tape and things of that nature. And we had to pull out of them what we knew they had. And that was difficult, you know. But you had some very energetic parents that was really, you know, over the top. And you just had to kind of like talk to them, deal with them person to person, deal with them one-on-one, deal with them with the same grace that you would like to have if that was you.
I love that.
And so that way you can bring them down. A lot of them don't know. They don't realize their level of energy. So you just have to bring them down.
And it takes skilled people like you and your team to bring that out.
Right. And another thing that was difficult, because we had contests and we had open mics, so they were awarded, you know, prizes and cash. So it's hard telling the child you didn't get it this time, you know. And that part was difficult.
Next time it's coming.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
All right. And now you had a little stint in public relations. The public relations agency.
Yes.
Now, how'd that come about, and how do you like that? And are you still doing that?
No, I'm not still doing it because that wasn't my passion. Public relations came about when I connected with Patty Webster. May she rest in peace. She was a powerful woman. Oh my God. She was a guru. She was a guru in that.
Really?
She was the public relations agent for Steve Harvey, Alicia Keys, Patti LaBelle, it's W&W, public relations. Patti LaBelle, Chris Paul, from athletes to celebrities. So she managed Mary, and she managed Tye, or she, you know, was the public relations for Mary and Tye. So that's how we connected. And when my time for being a manager with Tye was over, she asked me to come work for her. And it was amazing. We traveled and It wasn't. Did the red carpet for so many wonderful people. We were at the Grammys, the Emmys.
Oh my
we was
goodness.
everywhere.
So you knew everybody.
What? What? It was
Awesome.
quite an experience.
So can you tie all of that stuff into all the things that you do going forward, and the management and the on air, which we're going to get to in a second, right?
Right.
Those things, and plus the contacts and everything, right?
Yes,
That
yes.
is so awesome.
It was good to establish relationships.
Exactly.
That's
so
key.
important. So important, relationships.
That is so
and
key.
to keep them.
Yes, and make
yeah.
sure they're good relationships.
Yes.
No matter how they end, make sure they end on a good note.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's favorable for you or not.
Right.
End it on a good
you
note.
never know when you're going to see them again.
When the tables will turn.
I'm
yes,
telling you,
ma'am.
that's right.
A to the men.
Okay. I love her. All right, broadcasting being your passion. Why?
Because
And how'd you get started?
I got a bug back in 1990 at a little station in Trenton called
She said
WT.
1990. Did she look?
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was 10.
Okay. Whatever you want.
And I'll stick with that story.
It's my story and I'm sticking with
Yes,
it.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
good.
And so, you know, once I got a bug in, I didn't grow up wanting to be in broadcasting. I didn't grow up wanting to be a radio announcer. You know, that particular day, I was just cleaning my boys' room, you know, as a mom would do, always cleaning up while they're at school. And I heard, listening to gospel, and I heard the radio station advertise they had an opening for an administrator. I said, well, why don't I do that? You know, so I traveled from where I was to Trenton. And when I got there, they told me what they were offering for this position. Nah, it wasn't worth me. I said, you know what? I really don't want to be an administrator. I would rather be on the radio. She said, what? She said, just go in the studio, read a flyer, and we'll see what happens. I went in there and read a flyer. Bam! The rest is history.
Okay, now let me tell you, this does not happen normally.
Amen.
Okay,
Amen.
Sometimes favor. Sometimes God just, you know, He has a path for all of us. All right. So you did that. That's how you got started.
That's how I got started. I did not
I
go to
can't
school one
believe it.
day.
I can't believe it. We want them
And
to
you
go to
know-
school. Don't tell them that. All right. So, but how do you know there's a lot of disappointments in radio?
How do
How do you cope with that?
Oh, wow. You just know what your passion is. You know what you're called to do, and you hang in there. Do you know that your passion won't let you leave it? It won't. Your passion makes you stick with things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep. Like early mornings was mine.
Come on.
You're like, what? I got to be here. What?
Yes, I've done that. Morning shift, yeah. People, y'all hear the morning, you know, the morning show, aha.
Yeah.
They gotta get up
I
in order to
know.
be on there at 6. You gotta get up at 4.
I know. Sometimes you got to leave at 4.
Come on. It's
I remember
not-
one of the managers of this local AM station I was on. She said, you have to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning and open up and set the meters and all that stuff. I don't know, no technical stuff. And I said, oh, I don't like getting up early. I can't. She goes, if you're going to be on radio, you got to get up early. I said, okay. You do what you got to do.
Yeah. And you know what else, Venus? There were many times when they didn't pay. You know.
Many times?
Yeah.
I'm a
There
drink.
were times when my son was making more at the gas station than I was
Tell
making
it.
on radio.
Tell it.
But the passion drove me.
Right.
I couldn't let it go.
Right.
I couldn't let it go.
Right. Well, did you start at right on air or did you start as a board out?
I started right on air.
Okay, I want to hear this.
I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you, Venus.
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
They said, okay, come in the morning to do the training. So I did a training with Gene Morgan, a guy named Gene Morgan. I did the training. Then they said, okay, you've had your training. Now we're going to put you on the midnight shift from 12 midnight to 6 in the morning. I said yes, because I can make all the mistakes I make. People will listen
you think nobody's listening.
Right, I'm thinking nobody's listening. If they listen, they half sleep anyway. You know what I mean? So I said yes, but my husband at the time wasn't having it. He wasn't having me travel that distance to be
Late at
there at
night.
midnight, you know. So they transferred me to a station in Philadelphia.
Wonderful. Radio was just wonderful in 19-something or other.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm Brad. I started
Yes.
from a board out. I went as an intern and started and worked my way up.
Oh, really?
But in the New York station.
Yeah,
So
but that's different.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
New York, you mean you weren't in Oshkosh, Bagosh, wherever first?
Right,
Favor.
right. That's right.
Favor.
That's right.
So now you worked with one of my favorites, Bishop Hez.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I asked him to be on the show some time ago at a Circle of Sisters, so I'm trying to circle back to him.
Oh, we got to make that possible.
Oh,
we got to
thank you.
make that
would be
happen.
Wonderful. And then Every Praise was written by a friend of mine that I used to sing with years ago, David Bratton.
Let me find out you
Love
sing.
him. Oh, I sing?
Let me hear it.
We not talking about that now. I ain't singing here. Don't believe me, just watch.
Okay.
Anyway, back to your interview.
Okay.
Back to your interview. So how was that working with him?
It was wonderful. It was an experience. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
Hezekiah Walker is a busy man. He has 2 churches. He is the presiding prelate. In other words, he is over many churches.
Wow.
Not only in these United States,
Right.
but over in Africa. All right. Then he is a recording artist. He's not a retired recording artist. He is an active recording artist, you know, where you're doing gigs on the weekends and have to be in the pulpit on Sunday mornings and have to be on the air on Monday. So it was very challenging for him.
Right.
But we worked together, we worked that thing out, and we are best friends today.
That's
We are.
awesome.
He just texted me and called me last night.
That's
so we are
awesome.
just the best friends last
He and my
night.
former pastor, who just retired, DeForest Soares.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and his mother, that's my ace.
All
It's a child. I'm
right.
going to tell you about her when we get off.
Okay,
but
okay.
So awesome.
Oh, wow.
But they talk all the time. And so, you know, that's how I see him sometimes because he comes to our church. Well, he came to our church at different times. We have a new pastor now. But anyway, the show went off in December, right, because of
Yes,
COVID. Do you
yes.
think it's going to come back?
I don't know. I don't know. The show was also syndicated through AURN, so his show is still going on.
Okay.
His show is still going on, but they had to let me go.
Okay.
So, you know, and can I go on and talk about?
Let me ask you this. Was it live or was it, I'm losing my words, taped and then aired?
It was both.
Okay.
It was both.
Good, good, good.
We were live at times. We had a two wonderful
Voice
producers.
track is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. We had Regan, we had Goose, we had Bentley. We had so many wonderful board ops that kept us sounding live. You know, so
yeah.
it was both.
Yeah.
We did live interviews and things of that nature. So
And
it
it's
was
so
both.
wonderful when you can do something voice tracked and people think it's live. I mean, I was voice tracking the overnight. Folks calling me talking about, can you play? I'm like, I'm asleep.
Look, I'm listening to. Or sometimes I'm listening to.
I'm listening to. Why you bothering me? But that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
you got to come in beforehand and do that for days,
Right.
5 days, and then if it sounds wonderful and you sound whatever, but
Right.
it's all the training that you get
Yeah.
and watching the folks. You know, because I watched a lot of folks in all 3 stations before I would do anything. So did you have any mentors that were radio personalities first?
I did. Patty Jackson was a mentor of mine. I listened to her. And you know who was my greatest mentor? Oprah Winfrey. Back in the day, not that far back, y'all don't get it twisted, but back in the day, they had the channel that she was on, the Oprah show, on radio. And I would listen to her. I preferred to listen to her
Right.
rather than watch her, because watching her, you are looking
Distracted.
at viewing, But I listened so I could hear how she would articulate and
Yes.
say different words and
Yes.
when she would take a breath and all that. And I really
Wow.
took my tips from Oprah Winfrey.
That's awesome.
Oprah Winfrey.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now, Good Night with Neicy
Yeah.
on the U Gospel, which I didn't know existed till I started doing the research for you for this show.
Okay.
So you're on there still?
I am not.
Okay.
Since I started on the
In Philly?
in Philly, I kind of released that, but that was a little bit too much.
But
for
they
me.
still exist.
Oh yeah.
Because I was going to say, now how
They're
you doing that at
wonderful.
night, and then you're doing this in the morning? I'm like, and then you're doing manage it and stuff. I'm going, girl, that girl got some energy.
What?
She
And I got
some
another
energy.
job too, so no,
Oh, my
I am not
goodness.
Superwoman.
You're not?
No.
You look pretty
No,
simple to me.
ma'am.
Get out of here. Well, tell me a little bit about that. We got a little bit more time, and I got to get into this Vitro mix and the tips. So
Yeah.
briefly tell me a little bit about that. What's the
You
difference between
Gospel.
that show and the show you do
I
in
am
the morning?
so grateful. I'm sorry to overtalk.
Oh, no,
you,
it's
but
all
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm so grateful for Khalif Towns. Back in, I would say maybe about October 2020, he gave me a call. He said, Neicy, are you available to do a show for me? I said, sure. He said, choose. I said, which time slot? He said, anyone you choose. And I was already on with Bishop Harris from 3 to 7. I said, let's do a night show. I've never done a night show.
Nice.
I said, let's do that. And,
Nice.
you know, we begin to talk. I said, let's do a good night with Neicy. He said, that sounds good.
Well, what did you play?
It was gospel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
gospel. Now you thought I was gonna be
Hey,
smooth.
listen, I wanted to hear some love songs, you know.
And I kept it low key, and I kept it low key. I kept it low, you know, mellow. It wasn't no, you know, it was mellow because it's nighttime. You know,
right.
you want people to, you know, relax. They're unwinding.
Yeah.
I try to keep it like that and put in my little low voice. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be
my
a gospel.
goodness.
What they have at night? What did they have at night? The shows at night.
Quiet Storm.
I wanted to have a
gospel quiet storm.
Quiet storm. Then people kept requesting these high, you know, high energy. So I'm like, no, John,
It's nighttime. We relaxing. What's wrong with you?
But I appreciate him to this day for thinking of me.
All right.
So after they let me go, that was my go-to. The You Guys Good Night with Neicy.
Keep that door open, right? That door's still open, right?
Yes.
Let's move real quickly. Daytime or nighttime radio, which is your favorite?
Daytime, mornings. I found out mornings.
I'm not a morning person.
I found out mornings. I've done every other day part. I've done middays. I've done afternoon drive. But I love the morning. I'm a morning person.
Well, radio made me a morning person. But I mean, I had corporate jobs before, whatever. If I have to be somewhere in the morning, I could be somewhere in the morning. But I'm a night owl.
Girl.
I can stay up all night long. If you keep talking to me, I'm gonna keep talking. Once I stop talking, that's all she wrote.
Right,
you know?
right.
But radio makes you.
Yes,
a morning
that's
person.
right.
Makes you a morning
You
person.
find yourself grooming yourself to whatever position you're in.
Yeah. Why do you think it gets in your blood so much?
I have no idea. I think it's the energy. Well, I am shy. I'm shy.
Anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't believe it? Okay.
No.
So I'm shy. So I love being in a room with no one around and then talking to the world. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And back in the day when you would get the calls, you get the requests, you get the feedback, you throw out questions.
Yes.
That's the way radio used to be, you know, and I love the interaction with the
people.
listeners,
Yes.
and I love hearing how the songs bless them.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so, you know, addictive.
Yeah.
You know, I was just about to walk off a bridge and I heard that song, I'm like, yes.
And if you feel a closer pulse to them, right? You feel like they really feel like they know you.
Yeah.
They see you down the street and they be, hey, Neicy.
Right.
Wow.
And with radio, they can't really always see you. But I have gone into places and maybe put an order in, they say, wait, are you? I'm like, oh, yes. They knew the voice.
The voice, exactly.
Yes.
Do people say to you, give me your radio voice? I'm like, I don't have a radio voice. So what you should do?
This is, you know, hey, this is, you know.
Excuse me. Let's do the Bistro rapid mix. So no thinking, just answer the question real fast, okay?
Okay.
All right. So tell me something about you that people would be surprised to know.
Something about me that people would be surprised to know. I don't like to cook. There go my man. There go my man, boo.
Yeah, listen.
We got to go out. Well, you got to be the cook.
If you could talk to anyone, if you could talk to anyone, living or dead, who would that be?
Barack Obama.
Yes. Maybe you still get a chance. Ask him.
Okay.
When there were people that people suggested to me, why don't you have that person? I said, they're not going to come in and say, why don't you ask them? One of the favorite things I like besides this, you have not.
Because
you asked not.
Yes, not.
Okay. All right. That's good. What you going to talk to him about? I'm messing up my own quick rapid fire. Because it's just so wonderful talking to you. Real quick.
I just want to know how he made it as a regular person and what makes him stay so human. Being who you were to who you are, and family, you stay connected, and people still love you.
Yeah.
He never came outside of his character.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. If you could live your life again, what would you do differently?
Nothing.
I knew you were going to say that.
Not one
Before
thing.
I got here and I went through these questions, I said, she's going to say nothing.
Not one
All
thing.
right. Give me 3 tips that someone could do if they want to do what you do, either be a manager or be on air. What are 3 concrete things they could do to get started?
Seek God first. Seek God for directions. Seek Him for instructions, because there are paths that that's set before you that you may not know how to get there, but He knows how to take you there. Follow your passion no matter what. Don't settle for second best. Don't settle for something because it's difficult. Follow your passion.
And the third one?
And love people.
And love people. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Neicy, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I told you it always goes fast. Tell us where they can find you.
That's it.
Yeah, you could come back. You could come back, or they could expand the show to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can find me on all social media platforms under I am Neicy T, Neicyt. My website is neicyt.com. Just
Awesome.
that simple.
Awesome. And I'm Venus. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm on all social medias. Make sure you tell someone about the R&B Bistro. Remember, it's never too late to live your dreams. And when you do, I'll be there encouraging you. Later. See you next time on the R&B Bistro.
Music is the answer. Sweet music is the way. Gospel, jazz, R&B touches you every day. Talk about how it moves